All right, enough of that super long intro. Let's get into what I'm actually doing today. Today, I'm going to Detroit. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to take some pictures. Going to do some street photography. And maybe you're thinking, like, photography? Like, you've never done photography? No, I haven't. It's a new year, right? So, gotta try new things. I've always had a really big interest in photography. Just never really stepped into it. And I figured with it being a new year, it might be a pretty good time to just try, I guess. So I went out and bought the Canon M50 Mark II that you're watching me on right now. It's a good multi-purpose camera, at least from what I've read. I'm not a camera expert, and everyone says it's good for beginners, and that's what I am. I am completely amateur to anything photography. I didn't even touch it. What was that? That was weird. Did that shake, or did I just imagine that? Anyways, yeah, with the new year coming around, I wanted to get my foot in the door for some things that I've been wanting to try for a long time, but I never really did anything to make any progress with that. So I decided to change that. It's the second weekend of the year already, and on the first weekend, I decided that as soon as I get my camera, as soon as I can start, I'm going to spend every single weekend doing at least one photo shoot, just one, and posting the best picture that I take, or some of the best pictures that I take, to my new Instagram. Link in the description. I called it Joshua Gardner Photo. That's my name. Photo just makes sense. Yeah, I think it's going to be great. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is I'm about to get ready to head to Detroit, and I will get with you guys soon to show you the results. I'll sort of document what I do along the way, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. Oh man, I'm just super excited. I don't know how do you do this? I'm scared to hit it. Is that bad? I don't know. What do you have to say? No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. So we took a lot of pictures. Good stuff. Do you think we had we think we had some good ones? How many like really good ones though? Like 3, 4?
10 at least.
What?
10 at
10 at
least.
least?
There were some that I really liked and you just don't like, and it's like, what?
It was definitely not 10. I'm shaking so much. Let me hold this better. I definitely don't think it was 10, but that's okay.
Well, we'll look at them when we get home, right?
Yeah, you're right. Will you say cheese? Why not? I went into this photo shoot with really one goal in mind, and that was to just take one picture I could look at and think, hey, that's pretty good. Okay, that's not funny. I really just wanted to take one picture that I could be proud of, I guess. After we got back from the trip, me and my girlfriend sat down with a friend of mine and went through every single one of the photos and picked out the best ones. And the ones that are going to end up in this video are the ones that I deemed my favorites. Starting with photo... I don't know why I put this on. We're looking at photos. Starting with photo 85. The framing's not good on either of 85 or 86. I have these two. They were the first photos I took where I was actually trying to take one, you know. The other ones were just like, oh, click. Whatever. These ones were okay. They're pretty. I wish I had framed them better. I wasn't used to holding the camera yet. Immediately we get to 93 and I'm looking at a photo where I'm like, wow, this is actually a good picture. I already have one that I'm proud of. It's obviously not perfect. I wish I was an expert and I could tell you what needs to be fixed with it, but I love it. I love that there's a car there to fill that space at the bottom, because it was just an empty road, which I did get one with just an empty road, and it really wasn't the same. So I'm just really glad that there's some space there, or something to fill that space rather, in that car. Look, if I've been looking off to the right the whole time, it's because I've got the thing right there. I just can't help but look at myself. I'm so handsome. No, I'm kidding. There, let me just move out the way so I'm looking at the camera. So I'm looking at you guys. Listen, it's not that big a deal, but I feel bad about it. I feel silly. something about the way the sun just hits the glass and the dark building in the background. It's got a lot going on, or it's got a lot going for it, is what I meant. Something about it just makes it an interesting picture. One thing I don't necessarily like about it, though, is if you look on the left there, there's those 2 black circles at the traffic light. I didn't notice that was in there when I was taking the picture. I'm an amateur, all right? Don't blame me, okay? But I feel like I could easily Photoshop them out, or somebody could. I don't know if I'm the guy to be doing Photoshop, but I feel like it'd be very easy to take them out, especially with the sky not being in focus. It's kind of just a blurry mix of white and blue, you know? You could easily take those out, and I just might. I don't know. This next one, I love. I love this picture. I don't know what it is, but I love it. I think it's pretty easy to just sit down and take a picture of any road, really. Right in the middle, between those lines. It's not a view people get to see often, except in pictures. I think it's kind of an overdone picture, probably. I'm saying picture a lot. I'm going to get that on my system eventually. And also, I think I could have scooted in more, or maybe used a little more zoom on the lens even. Because I think the positioning's fine, but I wish I had more of what's in the center there, because that is technically the subject, I suppose you would say, just the buildings in the background. And it's just not quite perfect, but I think it is overall a solid photo. Any first-time photographer, right? You're going out to take pictures, you don't know what you're doing, find a reflection, click, boom, you're done. I'm not saying this one's all that good. I like it, but it's definitely... It's okay, you know, 7 out of 10, right? Something like that. For an amateur, is what I'm trying to say. It's a bit bright on the left, kind of overexposed. Oops. I could have maybe changed the shutter speed higher, or I don't know. I'm kind of still learning how to use these cameras. I had the ISO at 100 for most of these pictures because it was a bright, beautiful day, and I wanted the highest quality pictures I could possibly get. But I'm still learning, you know, what settings are the best, how to quickly change them and take the pictures, and also just how to recognize when I do need to make changes. And for this, it's a bit bright. I could have made some changes. Moving on. Another one of the overused, right in the middle of the road kind of shots. I like this one a lot for the buildings in the background, but I didn't focus on them for some reason. I focused on the sewer in front of me. For a lot of these shots, that's what I did. I just focused on whatever was right in front. And I think that's something I'll have to keep in mind next time, that sometimes focusing on things in the back, my friend gave me this advice, actually, I'm kind of just stealing it from him, that focusing on things in the back should make just as good a picture, if not better. I'm stumbling over my words a lot. Who cares? I'm happy with this shot, though, still. I think it looks good. It's interesting. Interesting. Why do I always say interesting? Anyways, I have to ask permission to show this one, because it's of my girlfriend. But I think she looks great. It was a candid shot. I just clicked it of her without noticing. The only one I got without her noticing that I was going to take the picture. I just, as quick as I could. And honestly, I loved the background. It came out great. And then we took a few more with the same background, but with her posing. And they just didn't come out as good. But these are the ones that we said were okay. I like this one because of the trash can in it. I don't know why that adds something to it, but I think it does. I think it adds a lot to it. Moving on, we've got this one with this chain link fence. Nothing spectacular about it, really. It's just a fence. I wanted to get some practice blurring the background, and I did that. Overall, it's a pretty dark image, and I should have done something to raise the exposure, but I can do that a little in post, and I might. I don't know. This next one here, we were trying to go for something weird with this sort of double pane glass. It gave a really odd golden effect, and I liked the way it looked, but it made every picture look blurry. In real life, it looked not so blurry. I don't know. I thought it would be a cool picture. They weren't. This one is framed nicely, I think. I think I'm a little tilted to the right. I got kind of low for the shot, and so that's probably why I wasn't holding it that well. And that'll just come with time, getting used to the camera in my hands. But I just like the way the building looks with the light on it like that. And as far as how it's framed, there's a good proportion of street and sky, I feel like. You use the rule of thirds in that picture and move it around a little bit. You're gonna end up with a really even picture. Oh, my voice is going. It is a bit bland, though. The only real splash of color that kind of sticks out is where the light hits the building, and I just think that makes it look real almost. It adds a bit of realism to it. I'm just talking out of my ass, 100%. In this one, this is kind of a teaching moment here. This could have been a really good shot, I feel like, but it's really overexposed. Look how bright that is. It's worthless as an image. The rest of it, if you ignore the sky and the light coming in from there, the rest of it looks fine, but you add that in there and it's just extremely bright. And maybe you could fix that in post. I'm sure you could, but to what extent, I'm not really sure. My girlfriend and my friends seem to like this a lot. I don't. It just looks okay, I guess. It's nothing super interesting. There isn't much of a subject. I wish I had walked down the street a little more and just did one with the trash can. I see it right there, and I'm like, huh. For some reason, trash cans are speaking to my heart today. This is just okay. I'm not super proud of this one, but you tell me what you think, I guess. Here we have a fancy red car. That's it, really. There's a lot of other reds in the picture, which I guess might add to it, but that's a Buffalo Wild Wings. You know, who cares about Buffalo Wild Wings? I mean, I'm sure their wings are good. That's not what I meant. It's just that being there kind of throws it off. If there was no text there, maybe I'm just a little nitpicky about this, but it's an okay picture. It's a bit dull and dark. Maybe I could have brought the exposure up in post. Again, I don't know if I've said it yet, but none of these are edited in any way to just draw off the camera, because I'm trying to get good at taking photos and not necessarily so good at fixing photos. Now, this shot is probably my favorite of all the ones I took. I don't know, the way the sun was peeking right in between those two buildings, and you go to just the right place, just the right angle. Oh, it was just beautiful the way it came out. I'm super happy with this one. This made the whole trip worth it to me, and I knew when I took the picture, as soon as I looked at it in the camera, I was like, oh, these are great. These are gonna be great. I took a couple of them. Here's one with a more blurred effect. That was kind of hard to get the camera to cooperate with me. I wanted that to have a blur on the whole thing. And I know you can do that in post, but I really wanted to get it just blurry for some reason. And it took a bit of fiddling with it. I don't know what I'm doing, so yeah, but this is how it came out. I don't know. I feel like you could use the blur for something, but what? I'm not sure. This one might be my second favorite out of the whole group. There's just so much going on in the picture. The first thing you might notice is the super nice car going by. The next thing you might notice is the oil tower there is kind of just a rusty old beat down thing. And that's right in front of these gigantic, massive towers. That's the GM building. There's this huge contrast between like old and new. And I felt like when I saw that from that low angle, nice low angle by the curb, you know, I'm overrunning my thoughts here. Give me a second. With all the different elements in it, I think it makes for a pretty solid picture. This next one, I'm not a big fan of. I went for another reflection shot. I hadn't taken one since the very beginning, and this was towards the end of our trip. And it just kind of came out okay. It wasn't great. As far as reflections go, it was pretty bad, actually, I think. I don't know. But as far as but when compared to all of my other shots, it was okay. You know, like this is one of the better ones. I took a lot of bad shots, and that's all right. I'm new to this. I'm learning, and I got some really solid ones too. Really solid. Why did I make that face? I feel like a goof. So these next ones are with and without the street light in between them. And I couldn't decide which one I liked better. I couldn't tell if the street lights kind of coming off at different angles made it good, or what am I trying to say? I couldn't tell if they made them better or worse. I really don't know. You decide, I guess. This next one is one of my favorites. Again, I guess they're all some of my favorites, right? But I don't know. I really like this one, focusing again on the things closer to me rather than the background. I think if I had done a background shot of this, it would have been great, but I didn't, and I really can't tell you why. The sun coming in at the angle really just, chef's kiss. Beautiful. Love it. Oh, and I don't know how I didn't notice it before, but that street light there just adds another element to it. It's curvy, it's fancy. I don't know. I wish I had focused on the background instead of the foreground, but I didn't. Again, another shot in the street. With this one, I think it's too dark. It almost gives off a moody vibe, and that's not really what I was going for when I shot it. I like the reflections on the side. They're the right amount of light coming in, but then you just have this whole dark road, and the yellow line going through it is cool, but there's no real subject, really. I wish there was a car, like a really nice car, that had just driven over that, and I could get them, I don't know, get them going by. Do you know what I mean? Like if a car was right in front of that, like that fancy red car we saw earlier, or maybe that white one, it would look really, really good. And without a subject here, it just kind of eh. I then took another one in between the lines here, and it was okay. I thought like I could get in the middle of it and it would make the whole thing pop so much more. But again, it's just kind of a dark color, and there's a ton of contrast in between the really bright sky and then these shadows on the sides. And that might look cool if done right, but I don't think it was done right here. And then here we have a picture of a broken, what are these things called? They're just mirrors, right? But like, do they have a name? The curved ones, you know? A safety mirror? So you can see, you know, like into the street when you're about to make a turn, or see if there's anybody walking, like with a baby in a stroller, whatever. I don't know what they're called, but I saw a broken one and I thought, wow, this is really, really generic and perfect for a beginner photographer like me to get some semi-interesting photos. So I took this one here, and then I got closer thinking I'd get some sort of like self-portrait, and I look stupid in this one. I look stupid in general, but I look really stupid in this one. Then I went for like a reflection of the buildings. This could have been really cool, and it just wasn't, and I'm not sure if I didn't show enough of the actual mirror. I feel like I pulled away a little too much with the camera, just a bit, but maybe I was too close to it. I think if I had the camera showing even a little bit, it would have been just an interesting touch. But then I got a little closer, and I got this one where I was adjusting the lens mid-shot, or at least pretending like I was, I think. And I thought that would be, that would look great, but I couldn't tell it was out of focus. So that kind of got ruined. Then I took this one, which was a lot brighter. But I'm not holding the camera in a cool way. I'm just holding it daintily like a little baby deer. What am I doing? Still, I think all in all, it's a decent self-portrait, and I think I used this one for my profile picture on my Instagram account. And I can't believe I haven't talked about my Instagram account yet. I can't believe I got this far into the video and haven't even brought it up. I'm doing great things right now. If you want to see me do more photography like this, the video's not over, by the way. Don't click off. If you want to see me do more photography like this, one thing, like the video, comment and tell me that, please. Subscribe, obviously. Why did I do that? That was weird. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, the usual things. But you can go follow my Instagram too to see these photos early. I posted 6 of these ones that I, at the time, thought were my favorite. Now I wish I posted different ones. Or at least the ones I can get cropped into an Instagram-sized post without it looking weird. Because some of them just didn't look good with the full frame in there, so I didn't post them. If you're wondering why, like one of the ones at the very beginning with that white car at the bottom, I didn't post that one. It's one of my favorite pictures, probably like top 2, top 3 favorite pictures here. But I couldn't post it because once you crop in just a little bit, it looks terrible. Yeah, so if you want to see more, go follow there. Moving on, we have this thing on the way back that was glitching out a lot. I figured I'd just take a quick photo of it. Maybe it looks cool, maybe it doesn't. I still don't know if it looks cool or not. You tell me. It's okay. I kind of, again, wasn't holding the camera perfectly straight. I was in the middle of the street when I took it. And as you can see, it says not to walk. There weren't any cars coming, I don't think, but I was still in a rush because I don't like getting hit by cars. Towards the end of our trip, we saw a beautiful sunset. It kind of topped off the day really well. That was a weird way to put it. Kind of ended the day on a perfect note, just to see this beautiful sunset. And look at it. I mean, it's gorgeous. So I took a ton of photos like this. I went back to that same spot where I took the one earlier and tried to get like an interesting focus. But again, I don't really know if I like these. I don't know if I like how they turned out. Are the colors great? Yes. I love these colors. I feel like you could take a paintbrush and just smear right in there and you'd come out with a gorgeous painting, honestly. And we're at the end. Perfect ending to a perfect day. I got a lot of pretty solid photos. Which ones were your favorites? That's what I want to know. Go ahead and tell me in the comments. I will get back with you when I figure out an outro. I still don't feel comfortable just punching the hell out of it. Fucking...